May I please have a round of applause for the DV Friends, class of 2022. Welcome. My name is Kirk Smothers, and I have the honor of being head of school at Delaware Valley Friends School. I want to welcome our Board of Trustees, our faculty and staff, parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, and other family members, friends, and most importantly, the members of the Delaware Valley Friends School class of 2022. Today's graduation is being held in the historic Race Street Meeting House, which was built in 1856. It's now home to the Central Philadelphia monthly meeting, which traces its origins to two older monthly meetings. The famous suffragist Alice Paul was a member of 12th Street meeting, and Lucretia Mott, one of America's foremost abolitionists and suffragists, worshiped in this very room. So graduates, while today's all about you and what you have achieved, please take a moment to reflect on the powerful history of this space and those strivers for a more peaceful, just, and equitable world who have called it home for more than a century and a half. First, I would like to introduce Molly Watson, Clerk of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Kirk. Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here today to celebrate the class of 2022. I'm Molly Watson. I have the honor of serving as the clerk of the Delaware Valley Friends Board of Trustees. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome all of you today and extend our heartfelt congratulations to the 25 students seated behind me. This is the class that spent 50% of its time in high school in the midst of a life-altering pandemic. We know how hard you guys have worked to get to this very moment. But we also know you have had steady wind in your sails from parents, family, friends, guardians, and the DV administrators. But perhaps the most influential partners in helping you all make it to this momentous day are the teachers. So join me in giving a round of applause to the teachers for the vital role they have played in the success of the class of 22. I had the pleasure of watching the DV film production, The Flipside, this past weekend, 2 times. And I thought it was an incredible illustration of the talent that DV Friends nurtures, unlocks, and embraces. So I'm going to end with a quote from the film. "This is a place of growth and transformation. Memories may fade over time, but don't ever forget your time at DV Friends. Class of 22, you are soon to be part of this school's rich history and incredible reputation. Congratulations."
Next, I'd like to introduce Jim Miller, Upper School Director, who will be giving a welcome on behalf of the faculty and staff.
Welcome, everybody. It's lovely to be in this space with all of you instead of potentially dying of heat stroke on a hot turf field like last year. This has got the weight of history behind it, as well as sort of the optimism of a fresh new beginning for our graduates. A few weeks ago, we had our senior Spark trip, and we took the seniors out to dinner at the Bluebird Inn. When all the iced teas and sodas arrived, I gave a toast to the then seniors and talked about the doubts that they would inevitably face in their future. And I told them to remember that doubts are just questions. Questions like, can I do this? What if this doesn't go well? Doubts are questions, like I told them, but doubts are not answers. The answers are what they get to come up with. And in the coming months and years, these graduates are going to come up with some amazing, beautiful, and surprising answers, and they will be all their own. So graduates, even though we don't have iced tea and soda right now, I want to continue my toast by talking a little bit about those answers. And here's an important thing to keep in mind. Those answers to your doubts don't have to be one thing or another. They don't have to look a certain way to impress anyone or meet anyone else's standards. They don't even always have to be what you at first hope. Let's say you want to take a challenging class, or you're thinking of trying a job or an internship, or you just want to try something new that seems hard, and then some doubts arise, as they often will. Can I do this? More often than you realize, graduates, you will try and you will see that the answer is, yes, you can do this. And that's good. But maybe sometimes you give it a try and the answer is, no, that didn't work out. I'm not cut out for that. And I'm telling you, graduates, that is also good, because that is part of learning who you are and what you want to be doing. And that's a big deal. Successful people in all careers and walks of life all have had their doubts. And they've all tried things that didn't go well. but they realized that those attempts weren't failures, they were data. They were information to learn where success would be. Take, for example, one of the greatest soccer players in the world right now, Mohamed Salah. He started off with his own gifts and talents, just like you have, graduates. His happened to be speed and incredible dribbling ability. But as a young man in Egypt trying to break into professional soccer, he was playing as a defender, left back. He had his doubts, of course, as we all do. He wondered, can I do this? What if this doesn't go well? And guess what? He couldn't do it. It didn't go well. Those answers to his doubts, however, didn't lead him to conclude that he was no good. They led him to continue exploring how to use his gifts and talents. Eventually, he ended up playing as a forward, one of the attacking players up front. He still had his doubts, but this time the answer was, yes, you can do this extremely well. He's been a goal-scoring machine since then, setting records and accumulating trophies. You, graduates, are on track to be like Mohamed Salah, not in professional soccer maybe, but in your own life. Through both your successes and your setbacks, you will find your place on the field. Now, it will take courage, but consider this. You have more experience than most in thinking about what your gifts and abilities are and how you can leverage them. You are already battle-tested in overcoming setbacks and pushing beyond doubts. You've been doing that for years, and it brought you to this day of celebration and success. You are going to find your place on the field, and you are going to shine there. So we, as the faculty and staff of DV Friends, urge you to take the field of your life with courage. Try new things with courage. Face those future doubts with courage. Face the answers to those doubts with courage. Courage to know and accept yourself for who you are, and courage to keep pushing forward. And let the pride and admiration that the teachers and staff of DV Friends feel for you be fuel for that courage, my friends. Congratulations to our class of 2022.
Thank you, Molly and Jim. Before we continue to the main part of our program, there are two individuals who I would like to lift up. The first is Jason Segern, who will leave us next month to become head of the Hillside School. Please join me in thanking Jason for his 18 years of service to DV Friends and for leaving us with an exceptionally strong middle school program that will serve even more students in the next years to come. Next, it's hard to put into words the impact that Linda Claiborne, our LC, has had on the lives of DV students for the past 24 years. She's helped countless students not only to feel comfortable learning math, but to love to do so. Changes come and changes go, but one thing has remained constant for 24 years. LC has been unconditionally dedicated to her students and advisees, and she has been a wise and generous advisor to her colleagues. LC, we will miss you more than you know. Thank you for being such a blessing to our school and in our lives. And now for the main event. I'm going to explain briefly how a DV graduation works. First, I'm going to read the name of each student. Music has been chosen by each student to play as they approach the podium and as they walk away from the podium. They'll then stand next to me and I will introduce them. And then each senior will prepare a speech that they have, or will give a speech they've prepared. And then they'll receive their diploma. I ask that please hold your applause until the moment they're getting their diploma. If you applaud when they're walking down, although it might seem like a really, you might be tempted to do so, you're going to drown out their music. So please hold the applause until the moment they're getting their diploma and then as they walk back. Every year, I spend the weeks running up to graduation preparing introductions for each senior. It's a labor of love that I confess sometimes feels a little bit more like labor. That was absolutely not the case this year. It was a true joy to write every one of these introductions. As Quakers, we try to see that of God in all people. Sometimes that task is easier than others, and as human beings, we are imperfect. This class, however, truly radiates an inner light. They are an exceptional group of young people who care deeply about one another, about our community, and about the world in which they live. I just hope my introductions will do them a little justice. Ready, guys? Lucas Bunke. Lucas has the unique distinction of having had 2 first days at DV. When he started in our middle school as an 8th grader, and then again as a senior after spending his junior year at Downingtown Technical High School, where he studied, among other things, electromechanical engineering. After his year at Downingtown Tech, Lucas transitioned smoothly back into the senior class as if he'd never been away. He leads by example, according to Matt Benjamin, and Allison pointed out that he is a steady and positive influence on those around him. During his DV years, Lucas was a member of the D&D club and Eye to Eye. He played tennis in the 9th grade and fenced at the YMCA from 8th through 11th grades. He was also a member of the Sea Perch underwater engineering team, which competed at internationals at the University of Maryland a couple weeks ago. At Senior Spark, he apparently took the opportunity to explain to his classmates just how all the roller coasters worked, making the trip both fun and a learning opportunity. In the fall, Lucas will attend the Wentworth Institute of Technology, where he intends to study robotics and manufacturing.
To start, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. As I'm the first to speak, I hope to set a good precedent for those after me. Though, unlike some of my more outgoing classmates, I'll keep this short. Coming to DV in 8th grade was an experience I can never forget, as it changed the way I viewed schooling. I remember those years fondly, as years with friends and learning people more in depth than I could ever think of in my old school. I remember more people in DV than I could ever think of in my last school. DV taught me strategies that my old school can never help me learn. I have proven to myself that I can succeed. I would like to thank all my teachers who made that possible, though, and put the school as acceptance. In particular, I would like to thank my advisor, Rachel, as she had heard our advisory like cats and was always there to help us remind us when things were going on. I also like to thank Eric, as he supported me through many times I asked for his expertise, which I needed quite often. Although I would like to thank many other teachers that taught, also I would like to thank many other teachers that taught me throughout the years, despite the many challenges like COVID. Finally, I would like to thank my family, as they were the biggest part of my life and success. First, my brother and extended family, as hearing your experiences taught me to learn from them and grow anew. Second, my dad, who was a voice of reason throughout the chaotic years that was COVID and high school. Finally, I'd like to thank my mom, who supported me as a scribe, editor, organizer, and enabled me to do so much more than I could do on my own. In conclusion, I wish to thank my peers and wish them good luck as they go on to the next part of their life. As I go to my top college, Wentworth, I will have you all in mind. Thank you.
Megan Bradley. Megan came to DV as a 7th grader and has grown tremendously in her 5 years with us. She may come across to those who don't know her as reserved, but that actually isn't the truth. Megan is quiet, but as Allison points out, she doesn't hold back from sharing her pointed sense of humor, and she steps forward without hesitation to build community. Megan played several seasons of soccer and basketball, but she discovered that she really enjoyed tennis and has been a part of the fall and spring DV tennis teams since 10th grade. This past year, Megan participated in the Able Bahamas sailing trip. When I asked her what some of her favorite classes have been, she named science and English. Her love of taking forensic science was matched by Amanda's enthusiasm for her as a student. Amanda says that Megan is gifted in the subject, as evidenced by her excellent presentations on both the Isdal women and how head injuries and genetics contribute to violence. In the fall, Megan will attend James Madison University, where she intends to study psychology.
Good morning. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. I started my journey at DV when I was in the 7th grade. I came to DV after struggling for a few years in public school, primarily with my math learning difference. These struggles caused my self-esteem to drop and my anxiety to go up. When I first walked through the doors at DV, I knew instantly that I'd found my place. During my years at DV, I not only developed strategies to be successful, but I learned to advocate for myself, which made me not only a better student, but a better person. I'd like to thank my teachers for shaping me into the student that I am today. I have so many teachers at DV that pushed me and didn't allow me to give up. My teachers supported me in my challenges with math, and I gained confidence as a learner. And next, I'd like to thank the friends I've made here at DV over the past 6 years. There is something special about the friendships at DV. Individually, our struggles are all different, but we are able to support each other and have a lot of fun while doing it. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents. I know that sometimes when I was frustrated, I took it out on you, but you never stopped supporting me and loving me. I wouldn't be the person I am today without both of you. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to attend DV Friends. I'll never forget the friendships I've made and experiences that DV gave me. To the class of 2022, I wish you all luck and success, and I'll miss you all.
Julia Grace Campbell. Julia has been an exceptionally engaged and dedicated student since coming to DV in the 8th grade. In fact, there are at least 2 versions of Julia to be seen at DV. Julia, the student leader, and the ADHD Avenger, the alter ego model to lower schoolers, and the co-leader of DV's Eye to Eye chapter. In addition to leading Eye to Eye, Julia has been a member of the diversity committee, the yearbook staff, the basketball team, and the tennis team for every season that she has been at DV. Julia completed both the Able Know the Ropes and Bahamas sailing programs. She has been a recipient of the Quaker Life Award and the Tennis Coaches Award for 3 years running. She also received an honorable mention by the Scholastic National Art Awards for her photograph, Marionette, one of many beautiful pieces in her portfolio. Julia will attend the University of Denver next year, where she intends to pursue film studies and production with a minor in entrepreneurship and leadership.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming. I've been at DV since the 8th grade, and it's been a long journey. Before DV, I really struggled with school. Language-based classes were always the worst for me, and anything history-related I loathed. Once I joined DV, everything was different for me, and I actually enjoyed going to school. First, I want to thank Gray for being my advisor 9th and 10th grade, and being my history teacher for 9th and 11th grade. I never thought I would be able to understand anything in history class, but with great structured classes and supported notes, I always felt confident in whatever we were doing. Secondly, I want to thank Elsie, my advisor last year and this year. I had Elsie as my math teacher freshman and sophomore year, and it's easy to say it was my favorite math class I've ever taken. I loved the notes in Elsie's classes and felt that I knew everything that was coming at me. I also want to thank Elizabeth for working with me in Eye to Eye, because trying to get 25th graders in high school and high schoolers with ADHD is very challenging, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Now for my family. I want to thank my parents for putting up with me for the past 18 years and always encouraging me to follow my dreams. I wouldn't be the person I am today without you. I want to thank my brother Colin. You're my best friend, and I feel like I can always talk to you about anything. Being at DV really changed me. If it weren't for DV, I probably wouldn't have gotten to all the schools I applied to. Thank you to DV for helping me through all these years and giving me fond memories to look back on in the future. To the class of 2022, congratulations and good luck.
Zoe Lee Klingman.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed forever.
Zoe began attending Friends schools when she was in second grade, which makes her nearly a Quaker school lifer. And she came to DV in the ninth grade. Zoe is a study in contrast. She is one of the kindest people you will ever meet. And she's also an exceptionally fearsome competitor on the sports field. Zoe has played soccer and lacrosse every season possible since ninth grade. She's also received numerous coaches awards, and she was named to the All-Southeast Pennsylvania soccer team for being one of the most outstanding players in the region. Zoe has been co-clerk of the executive committee, Eye to Eye, and the service committee. She's also been an outstanding panelist on admissions open houses, and she has been awarded the Quaker Life Award and the coveted Golden Rolling Pin. This past Friday, she received both the Service to the School Award and the Joan Frank Leadership Award. It was also my great pleasure to travel with her to Cambodia during her freshman year. In the fall, she will attend George Washington University, where she will enthusiastically enter with a heart and mind that are wide open to exploring a wide range of areas of study.
Thank you all for being here today. Before I came to DV, I was unaware of my academic potential. I had no idea how to advocate for myself, lead in groups in or out of the classroom, or be confident in how I learn. But I am proud to say I am able to do these things today. Luckily, I was diagnosed with my learning differences at a very young age. My parents took me out of public school, and in second grade, I went to a small Quaker school called Friends School Haverford. I was comfortable there, and I felt as if I grew up there. So when I heard I would be attending DV for high school, I was unaware of what to expect. But once I came to DV, my perspective on life and who I was changed in a way I never would have expected. I believe I have learned so much about myself and the young person I am becoming. I have been taught how to navigate new experiences and new challenges that I may face in life. I will be attending the George Washington University in the fall. I am extremely proud of my accomplishment for being admitted into such a rigorous university. My innocent second grade self never would have expected such a huge accomplishment. But I would not be able to make this monumental achievement alone. First, I would like to thank all my teachers for helping me learn how to be confident in who I am, not just academically, but personally and creatively. And I want to thank my graduating class for being extremely supportive and encouraging throughout this 4-year journey. And lastly, I would like to thank my wonderful parents for providing me with a marvelous education for my whole life. I am aware that higher education is a privilege, and I plan to take every day at a time and learn how to grow from all my mistakes. I am exceedingly grateful for my years at DV, and I will never forget all the unique moments and opportunities that I have been given. Thank you, and good luck to the class of 2022.
Tate Daniels. Tate has moved to the forefront as a leader in many ways since they started at DV Friends as a 9th grader. Once a musician who preferred to play in the back, Lisa Howell says that Tate has come out of their shell as a performer, and Tim Simmons calls them an essential part of the music program, a solid player who exercised their leadership skills effectively in each music class. Tate has also taken on the leadership of our Gender and Sexuality Alliance, beginning as a member in the 9th grade, moving to recording clerk in 10th, and becoming co-clerk in 11th and 12th grades. For their leadership in this area, Tate was awarded the Rosalind Turner Diversity Award. They have also been part of the Crossword Club, the Animal Crossing Club, and has been the Ultimate Frisbee scoreboard operator. Amanda Chang and Jackie Middleton both point to Tate's love of true crime mysteries. In fact, they have created a podcast in the genre of their own, and they intend to study forensic science at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford in order to pursue a career in criminal investigation.
Thank you all for being here to celebrate the class of 2022. As I look back, middle school me would be so proud of how far I've come. Back then, I was being made fun of for having to get extra help on math. But here I am, getting ready to study forensic science at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford campus. I honestly think that the only reason I made it here today is DV Friends. There are many people here who have helped me, but I wanted to personally thank a few teachers first. Allison Gill was the first teacher I met, and from the moment I met her, I felt instantly supported. So thank you, Allison, for all you've done for me. I would also like to thank Amanda Chang, Becca Litwin, and Megan Dunsey. These 3 women have always been there for me, and I cannot thank them enough. I wanted to also thank my parents and my sister who stuck by my side through good days and bad, and for my friends who have supported me no matter what. Thank you for everything. Class of 2022, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. To quote Harry Styles, if you're happy doing what you love, nobody can tell you that you're not successful. Thank you.
Ethan arrived at DV in the 8th grade from Stratford Friends School. He says that he was initially a little nervous about coming to a school where there were so many more students in his grade than at Stratford, but he made good connections and took full advantage of what a slightly bigger school had to offer. This has been especially true with regards to our theater program, which he has participated in every year that he has been at DV. Ethan's performance as the lead in this year's dark comedy film, The Flipside, was truly outstanding. In addition to theater, Ethan played DV lacrosse and soccer. In the summers, he has been a part of the summer stage program. Allison Gill says that Ethan has always been a pleasant, positive force for good in his grade. He's really grown into such an adult, always on top of his stuff, and he exudes calm, quiet confidence. It's been so lovely to see him grow up. Allison, friend speaks my mind. In the fall, Ethan will attend Westchester University, where he will enter with an undecided major and is interested in exploring criminal justice and psychology.
Hello, and welcome, class of 2022. It's hard to believe that I'm standing here in front of you today. I remember going into the 3rd grade and having trouble paying attention and reading. My teachers would be very strict on me and think I was just lazy or irresponsible. They would get frustrated all the time. My parents also did not understand what was going on until later when I was diagnosed with dyslexia. After elementary school, I went to Stratford Friends School for about 2 years until I came to DV in 8th grade. This was a huge impact in my life. From the past 5 years at DV, I've learned that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. and that people can learn in many ways. There are many people I want to thank here today. I want to thank my advisor, Greg Goodman, for always getting me on track with my homework, especially if I didn't feel like doing it. I want to also thank Khalil for being my director and inspiring me to do acting. I've enjoyed all the DV plays and movies I've been involved with so far, and I want to thank him for being my mentor. I also want to thank my coach, Joelle, for being supportive of our soccer and lacrosse teams over the years, and hope the best of luck for whoever is playing soccer and lacrosse next year. Next, I want to thank my brother for always being there for me and tolerating me when we used to share the same room together as kids. I'll miss you next year, considering we'll be going to different universities. I also want to thank my dad for always being there at my games and forcing me to walk the dog the minute I got home from lacrosse practice. I want to thank my grandparents for letting me crash at their place when my parents couldn't pick me up from school. And I especially want to thank my mom for always being there and recognizing that I had dyslexia and getting me the help that I need to get my reading level to where it's at to get to college. I couldn't have accomplished this much without you, and I couldn't have asked for a better mom. I'm proud to say that I got accepted into every college and university I applied to and decided to attend Westchester University. I'm looking forward to continuing my journey at Westchester, and I wish the best of luck to the class of 22. Thank you.
Jay Griffiths.
You've been telling me you're a genius since you were 17. And all the time I've known you, I still don't know what you do. The weekend in the college didn't turn out like you planned. The things that happened another day.
Faculty have described Jay as having a dry sense of humor, being a leader, being creative-minded, and an absolute monster at laser tag. He arrived at DV as a ninth grader and has been active in a wide variety of activities ever since, including the cross-country and golf teams, Games Club, D&D Club, and the Esports Rocket League team, which he helped to start. He's also been a part of DV's Sea Perch team since 10th grade, culminating with this year's international competition at the University of Maryland. Outside of DV, Jay swam competitively from 5th through 11th grades, and he's been a lifeguard at the YMCA and his swim club. He's also a referee for youth games held by Upward Basketball. For his Able trip, Jay participated in cross-country skiing in the Adirondacks. In the fall, inspired by his experience with Sea Perch, Jay will study computer engineering at High Point University.
I would like to start today by looking back at what has happened in my life. I came here to DV for my 9th grade year. This was not an easy change, but it turned out to be an amazing one. I was not a very outspoken person and kept to myself. Though, luckily for me, it wouldn't be very long till I met Kolia, who was and still is one of my best friends, whose accomplishments is almost equal to the amount of times he's gotten in trouble. He is one of the main reasons I stayed at DV. In the same year, I joined the golf team, where I met Matt Turdity, who is one of my favorite teachers, who taught me how to have patience and is definitely the funniest teacher. No offense, Eric. Speaking of Eric, you have changed the way I approach problems, while being an amazing Sea Perch teacher and, I guess, an amazing math teacher. Finally, ending off the teachers, Amanda. Where do I even start? She did everything, from teaching me how to find the heart and which side the heart blood goes into and blood comes out, to helping me finish English papers that I still do not want to write, to shouting me to get back in the classroom, then to, in the same breath, jamming out with me as I played random jazz songs on our speakers. Amanda was the best advisor I could have asked for. To round off this speech, I would like to thank my parents, who gave me options to walk down the path I wanted to walk, and for my brothers for making being at home chaotic. To all those who I didn't mention who have helped me on my way, thank you.
Joelle Hasick.
He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember.
Joelle is dedicated to taking care of others, from always being willing to lend a helping hand, to working as a lifeguard, to assisting a fellow student with a recurring medical issue when it struck on campus, to earning her EMT certificate and working with the Goshen Fire Department. Since coming to DV in 9th grade, Joelle has played soccer and basketball every year, and she has played on the lacrosse team in 9th grade. She was co-clerk of the activities committee as a senior and helped to pull off DV's first ever highly successful homecoming dance. Joelle participated in 3 ABLE programs: Know the Ropes, rock climbing, and the Bahamas sailing trip. It was also my pleasure to travel with Joelle to Cambodia in her freshman year. At Friday's Upper School Awards ceremony, Joelle was recognized by the faculty with the Heads Award for achieving academic excellence across the curriculum and being an inspiration to others who has reached the highest level of regard in our community. At the sports banquet, she received the Scholar Athlete Award, Greg Goodman Award, and the Athletic Department Awards. In the fall, Joelle will attend LaSalle University, where she will begin preparing to become an emergency room nurse.
Thank you for coming to our graduation. Through DV, I've been able to achieve all my extracurricular ambitions. I've tried new sports, gone to Cambodia and the Bahamas. I was able to get my EMT certification, plan a bunch of events for the school, have a job and a life, while still keeping my grades up in school. I don't think there's any other school where I could do this. I want to thank Megan Dunsey, who has always looked out for me. Even though I would never take her advice, it still was the support that counted. I also like to thank Steve Gallo, my soccer coach. I joined the team my first year and first time ever really playing soccer. Since, Steve has always had my back. I think his support really made me love the sport. I would also like to thank Michelle for making all my activity ideas come to life, and my advisor, Rachel, who has always looked out for me, even though I'm never in advisory. I'd also like to thank all my DV teachers. Lastly, I want to thank my parents for their support and patience. I wouldn't be able to have any of these experiences without them. To the class of 2022, I wish everyone good luck for their futures, and I hope you all go on to do great things for the world.
Calder McLean Johnson. Calder is the first DV Friends lifer to be introduced today, coming to DV in the 6th grade. When I asked Calder what some of his favorite subjects at DV have been, he listed math, art history, writing, ceramics, and photography. Calder cites Gray as helping to spark his love of photography, which has led to a passion for taking pictures of architecture and landscapes. I was fortunate to be one of 4 adults to whom Calder presented his senior exploration, which involved traveling to Seattle, Joshua Tree, and Malibu as locations to explore his art. Back at DV, Calder played soccer for 2 years in middle school, and he's been part of the D&D club and the filmmaking club. He took part in 2 ABLE programs, biking in his 11th grade year and Bahamas sailing as a senior. Several faculty members highlighted Calder's sense of humor, which, as Katya points out, is always delivered in the kindest way possible. Finally, Calder holds the distinction of being the senior traveling farthest away from Philadelphia in his class for college. He will attend Occidental College in California, where he wants to explore American studies, art history, film production, and science before ultimately deciding on his major.
I've been at DV since 6th grade, thinking my graduation would be a lifetime away as I looked down those facing benches in the meeting room. But year by year, it's gotten closer, and now here I am. And I want to thank some people who've helped me along the way. First, Jackie Middleton, who was my 9th grade and 10th grade advisor, and she also taught me in 10th grade in English, as well as creative writing this year. She helped me get back on track of missing assignments and clear the sometimes long lists of work I had missed when she was my advisor. Secondly, I want to thank Rachel Kenyon, who was my advisor last year and this year. She helped me when I struggled with missing assignments as well, and helped me get a better understanding of what I'm good at and what I'm not. And what I'm not so good at when it comes to math. Finally, I want to thank my parents for their support throughout these years, during these tough times where I struggled with motivation and time management. I appreciate everyone's support over these years, and thank you for your time.
Thomas Radin Kaplan.
I was talking to Zoe, he said, "Who's it? I'm proud of you." I said, "Son, I'm proud of you." He said, "That's what really is."
Tommy came to DV from the center school in 9th grade. And because she was his teacher before she arrived at DV, he can't get out of the habit of calling Megan Dunsey Mrs. Dunsey. Tommy is an excellent footballer who began playing soccer in the 3rd grade. He's played on numerous teams, including the Chestnut Hill Lightning, Bethlehem Steel Youth, and of course, DV's varsity team. He is a proud Bayern Munich fan and a Philadelphia Union season ticket holder, which he earns money for by delivering pizzas in Doylestown. Since 10th grade, Tommy has been active in helping to register voters at DV and elsewhere. He's also been part of Eye to Eye as a senior. Tommy has a strong interest in fashion design and marketing, which he was able to learn more about during his senior exploration. In the fall, he will study fashion design, business, and marketing at Thomas Jefferson University.
Man, I folded this a lot. Good morning, everyone. I would like to say I finally made it. I'm graduating high school and going off to college. I'm not surprised. I can't say I never thought I wouldn't be here because I've seen so many people graduate every year, but I would never realize just how hard you can actually make it on yourself to finally get to this podium. My 4 years at DV have definitely been an experience of a lifetime. I don't think you'd meet the type of people I've met here anywhere else. I'd like to thank all my teachers who put up with me and didn't just let me ease my way through high school without doing homework, which, sorry, I didn't do your homework. I also like to thank Miss Dunsey. I'm not calling her Megan, it's not happening. She's been my teacher since 6th grade, and honestly, I don't think I have ever had a better influence in my life. I think I've come a long way, but if you want to ask someone if I have, go ahead and ask her. She'll give you an unbiased opinion. I'd also like to shout out Miss Chapman because in 8th grade she taught me how to do public speaking, and as you can tell, I'm kind of shaky. I'd also like to thank my brother Drew for being harsh on me and making me have thick skin, very well needed to make it through high school. I don't think I'd be here without you. I'd like to thank my parents and everyone who's put me through this. I know I'm annoying, but thank you. I also like to thank Bernie for always keeping me in reality and making sure that I stay down to earth. Sometimes you get a little bit ahead of yourself, got to make sure that you get through it, and she helped me through that. I also want to thank Joelle. Thank you so much for teaching me how to genuinely see the field. You not only taught me how to see the field, you taught me how to slow down everything in my life and figure out what play is next. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank my class for letting me be a part of them. I came here in 9th grade, didn't really feel like I fit in. I think I fit in now, maybe, I think. You guys all have great potential, and I can't wait to see what you guys do for the future. You guys are unlimited. I think I can all call you guys my friends. I really appreciate that. And like one of the most influential people in the world once said, you don't question magic. That's a quote by Future, the greatest man of all time. Also, this one's for you, Matt Benjamin. Tommy No Cap, out.
Luke Charles Kedra.
The clock on the wall says it's time to go. I got my plans, I don't know about you. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing.
Luke came to DV in the 7th grade from Kimberton Waldorf. When I asked him what it was like to go from Kimberton to DV, he said it was great to go to a school where technology was so available and effectively used. Luke is an exceptional athlete. He's played on DV soccer teams since 7th grade and its basketball team since 9th grade, and baseball outside of DV for 2 years. At the sports banquet this year, he received the MVP Award for soccer, the Scholar Athlete Award, and the Catherine Shantz Award. Luke has traveled extensively in the US and abroad, including to Peru, Costa Rica, England, and Ireland, though his favorite trip was camping and horseback riding in Yellowstone. Teachers such as Becca, Michelle, and Matt Benjamin all point out that Luke pushes himself while knowing his limits, taking risks and persisting until whatever he's working on is perfect. Luke can be focused and results-oriented. He's also fun-loving and not afraid to be goofy, especially when he's surrounded by his friends or accompanied by a partner in crime. In the fall, Luke will attend the Penn State University main campus at University Park, where he will enter with an undecided major, but interests in nutrition, biology, wildlife biology, and kinesiology.
Hello, everyone. I know a lot of kids that come to DV have terrible experiences at their old school that they come from before DV, but I am different in that way. I don't have a sob story. Yes, I did face bullying at my old school, but it was nothing that made me want to leave. Sorry, I lost my place. I was so attached to my old school that when my mom told me that I was going to a new school, I threw a huge fit. And Mom, I am truly sorry that you had to endure that. At the time, I might have been mad, but I am glad that my parents made that decision. When I first visited DV the summer before 7th grade, I was so scared because it was all so new. I walked in the door and the first person I saw was Joshua Surratt. The instant I met Josh, I realized that DV wasn't that scary, and I knew that DV was now going to be my home. Arriving at DV, I was a below-average reader and a terrible speller. I'm not going to lie, I'm still a terrible speller, but there is a happy ending to my story. I can read now. Just throwing that out there. I'd like to give a big thank you to Deb Madonna for really working with me and helping me sound out and break down words. I would also like to thank Sam Steinberg for teaching me how to read underline notes, which is running, and it's a really helpful strategy of taking notes. I can't forget Carol for always seeing my athletic potential. And to quote Cher, I'd like to turn back time. If I could, I would play on your basketball team. That's a big regret of mine. Before going into senior year, I thought it was going to be terrible and honestly downright boring. but I was pleasantly surprised. This year was actually one of the better years at DV due to my wonderful teachers that made my last year so enjoyable. Amanda, I would like to thank you for the engaging classes this year. And Becca, I had to add you because you made English class interesting and fun this year. Also, Becca, thank you for being straight up with me when my writing was terrible. Matt Benjamin, thank you for the interesting debates that we would have in class and for allowing the interesting Tommy talks. If you were in that class, you know what I'm referring to. Finally, I would like to give a big thank you to Michelle, my wonderful advisor. I know I'm a handful almost all of the time. Okay, that's a lie, all of the time. But thank you for being so kind to me and listening to my rants. Thank you.
Annie Frances Logan. Annie was one of several students to join us from the benchmark school in 9th grade. In her time at DV, she has particularly enjoyed subjects as varied as creative writing and forensic science. Writing is particularly noteworthy, as she told me that she used to hate writing before coming to DV. Jackie, who taught Annie writing, applauded her for her clever and creative mind. Annie was active in the DV theater program from 9th through 12th grades. She contributed to the writing process, and she's been instrumental in making the props and costumes for each production. She has a passion for fashion, particularly vintage clothing. She is a seamstress in her own right and has made some of her own dresses. Multiple DV faculty members expressed to me envy of Annie's vintage clothing collection. In the fall, Annie will attend Albright College, and it will come as no surprise that she will study fashion design and costuming.
I can't tell you how much my time has meant to me. Over these last 4 years, I have grown more confident and feel a sense of belonging. I will always appreciate the community DV has created and the memories I have made here. Memories like gossiping on the soccer field, all the fun ski trips. Oh, I lost my place. And starting a horror movie club, which I still think was a pretty good idea. And most importantly, becoming unofficial prom queen. But by far, the best memories I've made at DV were from senior year, like helping to make the movie Flipside and the senior Spark trip. I want to thank Khalil for helping me to find my speaking voice. I want to thank Megan for being a fellow vintage queen. And I want to thank Amanda for getting me through junior and senior year. Lastly, I want to thank all my friends and family that have made my time at DV special. Thank you.
Francesca Suzanne Lopez. When I met with Francesca a few weeks ago to help prepare my introduction, she confessed that she had not wanted to come to DV when she left Drexel Hill Middle School. She's not the first student to be hesitant to come to DV, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a transformation so clear as the one that I've seen in Francesca. She is at the core of so much of what happens in this class, and I can't imagine it without her. Francesca has been a member of Latin A since 8th grade, and she's been its clerk since 9th. It's probably the longest standing clerkship in the upper school, 4 years. She's been a member of the Diversity Committee for 3 years, Eye to Eye for 1 year, and the Gender and Sexuality Alliance for 4 years. She also played basketball in the 10th grade and 2 seasons of tennis every year since 8th grade. She is an outstanding artist, someone who sees the big picture and is also genuinely caring. On Friday, Francesca was awarded the Jordan Griska Art Award. And if you don't know who Jordan Griska is, when you leave this building today and you go out to Cherry Street, look left. You will see a large Grumman aircraft going straight into the ground that has been turned into a planter. That was done by DV alum Jordan Griska, and the namesake for which the award that Francesca won. Francesca participated in the Able cross-country ski trip to the Adirondacks, not once, but twice. In the fall, she will attend the Tyler School of Art at Temple University and is deciding between art therapy and art education as her area of study.
Good morning, friends. Thank you for being here to join us in the celebration of momentous transition from preparation to the actualizing of our goals. First, I would like to thank DV for helping me achieve the once unachievable. Throughout my schooling, I was told that I would never be college material, but with the love and support of my family, teachers, friends, and my own perseverance, I am standing here today with the graduating class of 2022 with many achievements, including of getting ready to head off to my top choice school, Tyler School of Art and Architecture at Temple University. I want to thank my parents for their unconditional love. Dad, Suzanne, thank you for your continuous support and encouragement. Mom, thank you for always being my advocate, being the light to lead me through dark hallways to doors of endless opportunity. Thank you to my sister Susan for always having my best interest in heart. You're the one to bring me down from outer space and unfailingly be my rational thinker. Next, I would like to bring to light some teachers that have transformed me into the woman I am today. First, I would like to thank Sam Steinberg. You're one of my first teachers upon coming to DV in 8th grade. You have taught me confidence and shown me that with hard work, dedication, and an abundance mindset, I am capable of anything I wish to achieve. Following, I would like to thank Eric Clark. Math was always a subject I struggled with. I remember when I was younger crying at the kitchen table over my math work. But this year, your class was something I looked forward to. I was in your room every day my second trimester, and you never gave up on me. It was your class where it clicked, and I was able to say, I get this. Through your dad talks and constant support, I experienced confidence in math, which I have never had before. Next, I would like to thank Megan Dunsey. Megan, I don't even know where to begin. I remember eating breakfast with you in the morning of freshman year. Your door was always open when I needed to vent or just wanted to talk. You helped me out through some dark places and gave me the best advice. You taught me it's okay to make mistakes and taught me the most valuable lesson of all, self-worth. Lastly, I would like to thank my school mom, Michelle Erickson. Your patience and reason is such a gift. I loved our talks during lunch and constantly reminding me not everything has to be done to perfection, and most importantly, helping me grow in independence. To wrap this up, graduating fellow peers, we aren't called the golden grade for nothing. I truly believe this is a class of leaders. I have learned something from every single one of you that will continue to take with me throughout the rest of my life, and that is to never stop being the light. In every room you walk in after this, continue to illuminate love and positivity. And now that we have left our mark on DV, it's our duty to go out there to continue to influence those around us and make our mark on the world.
Mohammed Mohammed. Mohammed is the newest member of the class of 2022, having joined it at the start of his junior year, while we were just beginning to fully figure out how to go to school in the midst of a global pandemic. His transition to our community was accurately described by Rachel as cautious. But over the past 2 years, he's made great connections with students and faculty across upper school grades with his warmth, politeness, and gentle demeanor. Molly Hicks, the teacher who may know him best, says that he's gotten to know so many people simply by wandering into everyone's advisories, from time to time just to say hello and to see how people are doing. 2 years is not a long time to be at DV, but Molly also says that he's made tremendous progress in language arts, and he's truly come to understand the value of Orton Gillingham instruction. Mohammed knows the value of hard work from helping out at his family's pizza restaurant, and he's looking forward to a career technical training that will give him a trade to forge his own path.
First, I'd like to thank my mom. Thank my mom for loving me and always being there for me. Also my dad. I'd like to thank my dad for always giving me that tough love, always putting me in the right direction. And my friends and brothers for always just laughing with me, just always having a good time with me. And the teachers just always teaching me and stuff like that, always just being there. And I want to thank me for always working hard too. I want to thank me for always being there for me and always doing what I love to do. Even though I really don't have a lot of memories at the school, I'm happy I went and I learned. Thank you.
Brady Victor Morgan. It would be hard to overstate the impact that DV has had on Brady and the impact that Brady has had on our school. He's a DV lifer in every sense of the word. Even though he misrepresented his skiing ability relative to my own on more than one occasion, I'm grateful because we have Brady to thank for creating ski trips that I hope will be a long-standing tradition at DV. Brady is creative, energetic, and fun-loving. He played DV soccer, ultimate, and tennis for 1 year each, golf for 2 years, and cross-country for 6 years, and basketball for 7. This past year, Brady broke the school cross-country record at the Phelps School meet. Brady has been co-clerk of the Activities Committee and a member of Eye to Eye. He also did 3 ABLE trips, Know the Ropes, Adirondack skiing, and sailing in the Bahamas. In recognition of his tremendous growth during his time at DV Friends, Brady received the Heads Award for Exceptional Progress at Friday's awards ceremony. In the fall, Brady will attend Temple University to study film production and editing and possibly sports broadcasting.
Whoa. All right. Sorry, this was in my pocket. All right. Not really a morning person or a Quaker, but look at me now. As I stand here looking out to the people that were here for me at my worst and my best, I really don't know where to start. So how about we start from the beginning? So basically, it was the 6th grade center where it all began. I was an insecure little kid that had no self-confidence and blamed himself for every mistake he made and thought the world was against him. But that's when Mother had the talk about some Quaker school in Paoli. I had no clue where that was. Like literally, I did not know where that was. So going to a place I had no clue that even existed made me like scared and nervous. But we all know the saying, mother's always right. So I gave it a shot, and these past 7 years have been the best. And I would not be here without all the help DV has provided me, so now I shall thank the ones that helped me get here. Starting with Joelle. You saw me in my early years, and I was far from an athlete. But that didn't stop Joelle from believing in me. For some reason, he had vision, and he believed in me when few others did not, including myself. 7 years later, 20 seasons of athletics, 2 cross-country seasons records broken, and 3 historic DV basketball seasons. But if I did talk about athletics and did not bring up Coach Steve, I should crumple up this speech and throw it out. Steve was one of the biggest supporters and probably a huge reason to who I am today. He trusted me to lead a team, and that had a lot of impact on a young kid. He also was a big part of my rapid change of maturity. Another person who believed in me at my worst were 2 wonderful women that I almost took for granted, Amanda Chang and Allison Gill. All through middle school, I was kind of Jason's problem, so he solved it pretty well. I'll always be thankful for the gruesome amount of second chances he gave me. Shout out to Jason. But back to what I was saying. Through 9th all the way to 12th grade, these women were always by my side, with my wacky ideas to my extreme impulsivity to the year I decided not to take my meds. That was not smart. And my lack of effort to get my grades up. But they both always found a way to shine a light when I only thought there was only darkness. So when this school talks about the spices, I automatically think of the community, because every single teacher in their own way made a strong impact on my life, and I could sit here thanking each and every staff member, but this speech is apparently supposed to be 2 minutes, so gotta wrap it up. To sum this all up, I hope each and every staff here gets to see this kid flourish out in the world so I can give back all the time you guys spent for me. Thank you.
Davis Robinson Payton. When Davis first came to DV in the 7th grade, he was already a talented musician. He has studied the cello since he was 6 years old. For the past several years, he has played with Sherry Anderson in the Stretto Youth Chamber Orchestra in Trenton. With Stretto, Davis has traveled to Sicily, and he will be traveling later this month with the ensemble to Switzerland. Davis has performed numerous times at DV as well, and Tim Simmons says that as early as 7th grade, he was a quiet leader and role model to other musicians. While I might have once described Davis as quiet too, I'm not sure that that word quite describes the Davis we know today. He is unafraid to use his voice to keep his peers on track and to speak out for social justice and equity. Davis has developed his voice and leadership skills through his 4 years of membership in the BSU and on the Diversity Committee. For the past 2 years, Davis has been co-clerk of Diversity, and he was instrumental this year in running the naming committee, one of the most complicated things that we do in student government. On Friday, he received the Joan Frank Leadership Award from the upper school faculty, and in the fall, Davis will attend Towson University to study music and sociology.
Good morning, friends, and thank you all for coming. My name is Davis Payton, and I am not Josh Surratt. Here we are, It's been 6 long years, and it's finally happening. And I gotta say, it's surreal to think that I find myself graduating high school in the same room that my parents graduated high school from back in the 1990s, the 1890s, really. So when I sat down and started thinking about this speech, I didn't really know what to say because the experience that I've had is so different from my fellow students. When I arrived here in 2016, it was nothing but a natural progression in my educational journey. At my old school, I wasn't bullied, at least not for having a learning disability. I wasn't called dumb by my teachers or fellow students, even if I was in the slow math class. But when I came here in 7th grade, I guess I didn't really imagine myself standing here, and it's been a long time since then, or at least it feels that way. Even 4 years ago, when I started high school, this day seemed so far away. They say time flies when you're having fun, but as far as I'm concerned, it's more accurate to say that time flies when you're busy, because that makes more sense for me. Through schedule changes and pandemics, from musicals to movies, somehow, I'm not sure I know how, but we have made it to this moment. There were many times, often, when it felt like this day would never come, but here we are. I have to thank all my teachers and advisors who have supported me throughout the years, and I can confidently say that I have learned something valuable from each and every one of you. As you may know, being a quiet leader isn't always easy. It's often very hard because people don't listen to you. But doing behind-the-scenes work is just as valuable sometimes, if not always, as making announcements in front of a group. Through an unfortunately long list of failures and occasional successes, because believe it or not, we did get some things done, I can certainly say that I found my voice here at DV, especially this year. And sometimes it's your biggest failures that teach you the most valuable lessons. I guess I should also thank my friends. I feel like I talk to you like twice a month sometimes, or maybe I served as your brain for the entire year. But either way, I'm thankful for your company. It also gets to go without saying that I'm thankful for my family, especially my parents, for supporting me through the years. And I'm also grateful to the ancestors who have brought me to this moment. For better or for worse, and I think that one remains to be seen, I think I will never forget my time here at DV. I've learned so much and so many lessons I will take with me forever, and some I think I'll leave behind. To the class of 2022, the day has come. It's over. And this means that I don't have to see any of you ever again. Not that I'm excited about that. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a good thing because we're off to do better things. We have reached the end of this chapter in our lives, and it's time to blaze a new trail. So the door is open. Thank you.
John Ricardo Perez. John is a Quaker School lifer, having come to DV Friends in 7th grade from Westtown and Westchester Friends. While he had good friends in those previous schools, John told me that he felt much more on his own as a learner there, and that DV was the first school that he looked forward to getting out of bed and going to every day. John has become a really strong student, a great athlete, and a leader during his years at DV. He played soccer since 8th grade at DV and for Penn Fusion since 9th. He's been a member of I to I and Latin A. Allison says that John is a leader and a role model, always doing the right thing, even when nobody else is looking. Michelle commended him for his integrity and his discipline, two traits that will serve him well when he follows in his grandfather's footsteps to attend the Virginia Military Institute. When I asked him why he chose to attend VMI and asked him how we had failed him as a Quaker school, he said that he was drawn to the strong sense of camaraderie and discipline among the cadets there, which made sense to me. And he hoped to be a role model for his two younger brothers in particular. He intends to study politics and international studies, which I hope will lead to a career in public service, as we could use more leaders with his character.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. Growing up in the earlier years of elementary and middle school, I noticed that I was not able to keep up with the other kids in my class. It's not that they were smarter, they were just able to focus while I simply could not. Oftentimes, when the class was over, I would return home and have no idea what I had learned or what I was supposed to do for homework. These complications early in my life caused me a lot of anxiety and stress no kid should have to endure. I was playing on an unfair playing ground and I didn't even know it. I just assumed I was not as bright or as capable as my peers. After 6th grade, I found out I had ADHD, which was causing me to lose focus. Eventually, my family found DV and I was enrolled the following year. Everything changed for me right away, and I finally enjoyed attending school and learning. I was surrounded by people with similar experiences and struggles, which aided me in my ability to evolve as a person and student. I would like to thank my teachers for teaching me more than academics and how to use my learning difference as fuel to my fire and never allow it to be a roadblock. Lastly, I would like to thank my family for always having hope and never giving up on me. My years at DV enabled me to enjoy learning and go beyond my perceivable limits. To my fellow classmates, we all have a bright future ahead of us, and I only wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Soccer, lacrosse, and basketball. She's also played basketball outside of DV with 2 other associations. At this year's sports banquet, she received the athletic department and Catherine Shantz Awards. She has been a counselor at Lionville youth camps, leading dodgeball and other activities. She has won more awards from coaches than I could possibly list here. And on Friday, she received the Quaker Cup Award from the upper school faculty. In the fall, Rosina will attend Westchester University.
Hi, my name is Rosina Ricardo. Good morning and thank you all for coming today. First, I wanted to thank the administrators and teachers at Delaware Valley Friends, as well as the athletic department for making my time here so special. I enjoy playing soccer, basketball, and lacrosse for my 5 years here. I would also like to thank my friends and family for helping me along the way. I also want to thank my parents, sisters, and brothers, and my grandparents for being here today. Congrats to my classmates and good luck. I cannot wait to study at Western University. Go Rams. Thank you.
Jessica Jordan Scott. Elizabeth Krinovich says, Jessie's thoughtfulness shines as one of her greatest strengths. She is encouraging and supportive to others and is sensitive to other people's emotions. Other teachers have commended her for her tremendous growth, drive to excel, and self-awareness. Jessie came to DV Friends as a 7th grader, and since then, she has served on the service committee for 3 years, including as co-clerk. For her able credit, Jessie sailed the Bahamas with the all-senior crew. She also served on the prom committee and was a 3-season athlete. Jessie played lacrosse for 6 years at DV and basketball and soccer for 3 years each. She says that she's always been a fast runner, but that she worked especially hard to build her stick handling skills in lacrosse. And in addition to DV, she played on Headstrong and the Philly Blast. Megan Dunsey says that Jessie has always been the leader that she is now, but her tremendous growth has enabled her qualities to shine on the outside. In the fall, Jessie will study interior design at the Savannah College of Art and Design.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you all for coming and supporting this milestone for me and my classmates. I first began my journey at DV in the 7th grade. During my 6 years, I was able to realize a lot about myself as a person and a student. I have learned that I possess many talents, and I have watched my confidence grow in and out of the classroom. I am proud of my strengths and weaknesses that make me unique, and I'm grateful I have been in DV's environment to embrace them. Before attending DV, I found it challenging to understand what my learning difference was, but coming here was the best decision I ever made. I am now able to learn and advocate for my learning difference with the support from this community and faculty. I've had unconditional support and love from all my teachers during high school. It has been a long journey, and I wouldn't have been able to get here without all of you. More specifically, I would like to thank Allison, Megan, Sam, and Carol. You guys have been able to impact my high school experience in more ways than you can imagine. You've helped me become more confident in and out of the classroom and have prepared me for my next steps at SCAD. Finally, my biggest impact, my family. Dad, you are my role model and my biggest inspiration. You work so hard and it never goes unnoticed in my eyes. You've motivated me in many ways, and I cherish your support during my athletic and academic work. I appreciate your dedication, love, and leadership. You make me want to work hard wherever life takes me. I love you and thank you for all you do. And Mom, you are my best friend. You've been by my side every step of the way, and you've shown me that I'm not incapable of anything, even when I thought I was. You've been my biggest support system, and I appreciate all the extra time and little things you do to support, love, and motivate me. I truly do not know what I will do without you next year. You are both the most amazing parents I could ever ask for, and I promise to make you both proud on my journey down to Savannah. Thank you for always taking care of me and filling our home with love and allowing me to grow. And finally, to my classmates. You aren't just classmates, we are one big family, and I appreciate how I've gotten to know each one of you individually. You've made it easy to come to school each day. This community has given me a hope and drive I didn't know I had, and I know you will all succeed in college and wherever life takes you. Thank you for the memories, class of 2022. Congratulations, we did it.
The next student is not Davis Payton. Although Rachel says that Davis may be the power behind the throne, I think this may be the throne. Joshua Claude Surratt. Josh is the graduate today who holds the dual distinction of being both a Quaker school and a DV Friends lifer, having come to DV from the Quaker school at Horsham in 6th grade. Gray has said that Josh pushes himself to a degree that few of us are willing to take on. He is an exceptional student and a leader who Rachel has said is a social justice warrior who is always trying to make the school a better place. Josh is also a character who has a magical way of getting others to do things with a smile and a glint in his eye. Josh has been part of the diversity committee since 7th grade, eye to eye for 3 years, co-clerk of the BSU, and an admissions open house speaker. And most recently, he has served as the co-clerk of the executive committee. Josh ran cross country for DV for 7 years, and he played tennis for 2. I was fortunate to travel with him to Cambodia, even if he was a tad dictatorial with the music selection on the bus at times. Josh is a junior missionary at his church, and he interned at the Community Partnership School this spring. Last Friday, Josh was recognized with the Service to the School Award, and last year he won the Rosalind Turner Diversity Award. In the fall, he will study architecture at Drexel University.
Good morning, DV friends. I said good morning, DV friends. Thank you all for being here on this important day of celebration. As I reflect on these years of growth, a few things come to mind. The first being is the importance of a community. As I walked through the hallways of DV, the environment that surrounded me was one filled with kindness and the willingness to be compassionate to others. This community taught me self-advocacy and independence. Throughout my time, I have developed a voice. I've learned to ask for what I need and the resources that will make me successful, not only within the classroom, but within everyday life. I have learned the significance of valuing others and to treat them with grace and respect. Lastly, during my final days, I have learned to live life unapologetically and to walk into my truth. There are many people that have helped me get to the place where I am today. Mom, thank you for your knowledge and power you have given me throughout my years of learning. Dad, thank you for being my strong backbone and support system. Lastly, thank you for Zoe for your endless love and kindness. To the teachers that have supported me, thank you for planting seeds of wisdom and inspiration throughout my high school experience. Your lessons will forever occupy a special place in my memory. Thank you for fulfilling my curiosity, passions, and avenues of interest. I plan to utilize these insightful teachings as I enter the next chapter in my life. To my friends, thank you for the fun memories and humorous moments that we have made throughout these 7 years. I will always be grateful for our memories that we have created together. And to the class of 2022, I would like to congratulate you all on your outstanding accomplishments that you have made thus far, and the many achievements that you will fulfill in the upcoming years. I wish you nothing but the best as you embark on this new journey called life. And before I take my seat, I would like to leave you off with this message. I leave you with a parting word from Oprah Winfrey. Know what sparks the light in you, then use that light to illuminate the world. Congratulations to the class of 2022, and go Dragons.
Dylan Thomas. Rachel has said that Dylan has strong opinions and he is capable and full of common sense. She also claims that he has been integral to both door decorating wins and losses that should have been wins. Tim claims that he relied on Dylan every day to lead music class, not only because of his strong musicianship, but more importantly, because of what a strong listener he is. Finally, Katya said, if you're stuck on a desert island and lost in the woods, or just need a solid dose of endearing sarcasm, Dylan is your guy. Dylan has been part of or initiated a number of DV activities, including the Self-Defense Club, the Movie Club, the DV Musical, Latin A, and he was co-clerk of the Service Committee. He also represented DV at the Quaker Youth Leadership Conference and participated in the Able Bahamas sailing trip. Dylan also received the Widener University High School Leadership Award last year. Next year, he will attend Delaware Valley University, where he intends to study criminal and civil justice.
Okay. It is hot here. Okay. So, friends,
family, the two kids sitting up here who obviously don't want to be here. So we are gathered here today to celebrate the end of an era, the end of our high school careers. And let me just say, it's been interesting. And if I'm being honest, I didn't want to give a speech today, but then I was told I couldn't come. I don't know if you know this, but Cooley is giving the last speech, and it's going to be really good. But all jokes aside, I do have to thank some people. Firstly, the faculty and staff at DV. They helped me to become more outgoing and push me to try new things and take more risks. And obviously, I also have to thank my friends and family for shaping me into the person I am today. And finally, to thank you to all my peers for making my time here at DV one I will never forget. To wrap this all up, here's a quote from one of the hardest books we read in English class this year. "You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." Dr. Seuss. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren Frances Tillett. Perhaps no student ever faced more challenging timing in their transition to DV Friends. Lauren came to us as a 10th grader one school day before we closed the campus in March of 2022 due to COVID. On her second day of school, she was thrown into virtual learning without the benefit of relationships that all of her peers had developed over months or years. The fact that she transitioned so smoothly is just one example of her strength, courage, and grace. In Jackie's words, Lauren is simply a rock star. In the time since we've been back on campus, Lauren has been part of the service committee, Eye to Eye, and most recently the fishing club. She played golf for DV as a senior and lacrosse and soccer as a junior. Friday, she received the DV Friends Quaker Cup from the faculty. For her senior exploration, she interned at the pilot school, where she both assisted and taught elementary school students who face not only learning differences, but many of whom who also struggle with behavioral and emotional regulation issues. She will make a wonderful teacher after attending the College of Charleston, where she will study early childhood and special education.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. Before I came to DV, I went to a very rigorous high school. It was hard for me to keep up with work and felt as if I needed a change to be able to succeed. I was told and had the mindset that I wouldn't be able to attend any of my top colleges, but here I am now, ready to study early childhood education at the College of Charleston. I'm very lucky to have been able to attend DV Friends because without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. There are many people who have helped me get to where I am today, but I would like to thank a few people who have really been there to push, inspire, and support me throughout my high school years. First, all of the faculty and staff in the DV community for helping me grow as an individual and a student, teaching me how to advocate for myself and pushing me to be the best person that I could be. Next, my mom. Thank you for being Thank you for being there here by my side every step of the way and believing in me. Believing in me even when I was at my lowest and thought I couldn't do it anymore. I'm so grateful that I've had you to help shape me into the young woman I am today. And without you, I wouldn't be standing here graduating and attending my top college. I love you and thank you for being the best mom one could ask for. Sorry. To the rest of my family, thank you for all of your love and support throughout my journey. And lastly, to all of my friends, thank you for all of the funny, amazing, and unforgettable memories that we have made. I'm so thankful to have had your love throughout the past couple of years of high school, and truly, without each and every one of you, I wouldn't be who I am right now. It's a bittersweet feeling leaving all that I know behind and moving on to a new adventure. I don't know what will await all of us as we start this new chapter in our lives, but I do know that it will be great. Thank you. Sorry.
Arden Rose Tuft. Arden arrived at DV in the 10th grade, and she lost no time in getting deeply involved in the life of the school. She was the first recording clerk on executive committee in over 20 years, according to Gray. She was also a member in Eye to Eye in 10th grade and co-clerk in 11th. Arden studied dance for 6 years with the Pennsylvania Academy of Ballet. That experience was formative because Arden says that dance was the first thing she tried at which she really excelled. For her senior exploration, Arden interned with Lisa Howell and Gabriel Ortiz in our marketing and communications department. Lisa said of Arden that she's smart, savvy, and developed insights that showed a maturity beyond her years. Alex Ball praised Arden's artistic talents, especially with ceramics and sculpture. Finally, Katya wrote, "When Arden was absent from class, the whole dynamic changed. She has poise, grace, and a cheerful demeanor that go unmatched." On Friday, Arden was recognized with the Service to the School Award. In the fall, Arden will attend Gettysburg College, where she plans to explore communications, film, and of course, ceramics.
Good morning, and thank you all for coming. As I look back and reflect on the last 3 years of my experience here at DV Friends, I can't help but think of the timid girl back in elementary and middle school who was nervous and scared to go to school every day. My public high school was overwhelming to me, and I never felt like I fit in. I ended up staying at my public high school for 3 weeks until I left and started online school. I felt defeated and angry because I never understood my work. I remember very clearly saying to my mom, "When I'm 16, I'm dropping out of high school and never going to college." I thought I was stupid and not capable of anything great. College was not an option for me. I had the mindset that I could not do it. When I was 15, I was diagnosed with my learning differences, which finally explained why I had so much trouble with school. I finally had an answer to my problem, and I became determined to overcome it. DV came into my life at the best possible time for me. Even on my first day, I saw a difference in myself. DV was so welcoming, and my teachers cared about their students, which was something I had not experienced before. With the support of teachers, faculty, and students, I have learned how to advocate for myself, and most importantly, how to be a leader. I was the chapter leader in 2020 for the national program Eye to Eye, and this year I was on the executive committee for student government. Each teacher at DV has impacted me, but I would like to say a special thank you to Michelle, Elsie, Amanda, Katya, Becca, and Katie for being wonderful role models and showing me that kindness can get you anywhere. In addition, I would like to thank my grandparents for showing me unconditional love and support, and my sisters for always giving me the encouragement that I need. To my wonderful mom, your constant support and encouragement never goes unrecognized. You never fail to fill our home with love, laughter, and happiness. Congratulations to the class of 2022. You are all off to accomplish amazing things, and I can't wait to see where you'll end up. I have gained knowledge about myself that I would not have had I not come to DV, and I will take what I have learned with me on my next adventures. I'm proud to say that I will be attending Gettysburg College in the fall, something I never thought I was capable of. Thank you, and again, congratulations to the class of 2022.
Ramaya Jaha Ture. Ramaya is the final DV Friends lifer to graduate today, having come to DV from KIPP, Philadelphia. Her 6th and 7th grade LA teacher, Deb Madonna, says, "I was so impressed with how fearless Ramaya was when she joined us mid-year in 2016. As the years have passed, she continues to greet me with a smile and a warm hello. She is a genuine and lovely person." That's a sentiment that I heard from many about Ramaya when I asked the faculty for their feedback. Ramaya has been a dedicated member of the BSU and was selected to attend the virtual National Student Leadership Development Conference. She was also an eye-to-eye mentor in 9th and 12th grades, in addition to playing soccer and basketball for 1 year each. Ramaya has been active in Teen Shop, an empowerment program for Black girls since the 6th grade. Through Teen Shop, she's had the opportunity to hear inspiring speakers, visit colleges, volunteer, and participate in many activities. In the fall, Ramaya will attend Kutztown University, where she will study biology. She also hopes to study abroad while she's in college.
Good morning, friends and family. 7 years ago, I entered DV not knowing what to expect, and now 7 years of making lifelong friends, lasting memories, and finding a home away from home. Now I'm moving on to the next chapter in my life. I will hold my DV experience with me forever. Up to the age of 11, reading and writing was a daily struggle. I was barely getting by in the charter school I was attending at the time, and I used to think reading was an unuseful thing. Unuseful trait that I didn't need in life. That was until I visited DV at the beginning of my 6th grade year, and I knew I belonged in the school. Even though I joined the community in May, I remember being nervous walking through those double doors in the front. But as soon as I entered the building, my nervousness went away because everyone was so welcoming. I would like to thank all the teachers I had over the years. You all helped me learn something new about myself as a student, and without you guys, I wouldn't be here standing today reading this speech to you. Like my grandma and mom always say, it takes a village to raise a child, and without you guys, I wouldn't be here today. To my mom and dad, thank you for loving and supporting me and helping me and giving me this wonderful opportunity to be, thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to the best education in life. Thank you.
Kolya Varghese. Kolya came to DV Friends from Kimberton Waldorf in the 9th grade. Kolya has become not only an integral member of the class, but a role model for all students at DV, including our youngest. Kolya was the primary writer of this year's film, The Flipside. He's also active in Eye to Eye, including serving as its co-clerk, otherwise known as Captain Dyslexia this year. Kolya played tennis at DV for 4 years, in addition to traveling on the Able trip to the Bahamas. Kolya spent much of his free time exploring remote, abandoned buildings with his camera. These places fascinate him because he says that they are the meeting place between man and nature, as nature reclaims them. Kolya's photography has received recognition as a runner-up in the National Scholastic Art Awards and an honorable mention in Drexel University's high school photography competition. He received both the Ruth Greenberger Award and the Heads Award for Exceptional Progress. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not mention Kolya's very active sense of humor. from posting fun Dylan facts around the building, to making the head of school an almost unwitting accomplice to a faculty and staff targeted senior prank, to always being ready with an ironic observation. Kolya is a deep thinker, as several teachers pointed out, challenging traditional ways of seeing things. And for that, I thank you. In the fall, Kolya will attend McDaniel College, where he plans to study education in preparation for a career teaching students who have ADHD and learning differences.
Thank you, Kirk. Saving the best for last, I see. All right, so I'm seeing everyone's faces here, and I'm kind of getting the sense y'all are just begging for this to be over. I get it, like your kid already went. We're just kind of holding you hostage with cookie-cutter speeches about success and perseverance, but I promise you, this is going to be it. I was originally going to individually thank every faculty and staff member, but I guess I'll have to cut it for time. Sorry, guys. So for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I'm kind of a big deal around here. Ran like 5 clubs, wrote the entire school musical from scratch, accidentally got posters banned for a year, and made a whopping 5 teachers cry tears of joy. At least, I think they were joy. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, how did a guy this smart, successful, and wildly attractive end up at a school like DV? Well, I'm not going to go too far into my tragic backstory, but growing up, I had teachers that led me to believe I just wasn't worthwhile, that I was lazy. When I came to DV, I had a genuine fear of teachers. 4 years later, I'm looking to become one myself. Obviously, I couldn't have gotten to this point by myself. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my partner in crime, Jay Griffith, for never backing down from exploring an abandoned building with me. We've almost died a couple times, but we came out all right on the other side. I'd like to thank my advisors, Rachel, Jackie, and technically Amanda, for putting up with me all these years. Shout out to the administration for not suspending me during the poster ban, gas mask incident, mirror incident, the podcast, jousting club, and many other flavorful events I was involved in. Not exactly my best cases of judgment, but you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Finally, I'd like to thank Megan Dunshey for being such an amazing role model and for always looking out for me. I hope that one day I'll be able to teach with just as much energy and enthusiasm as you do. I don't know what the future holds, but one thing's for sure. DV's never getting a better class than this one. Seriously, it's a downward spiral from here on out. This was it, okay? Well, that's all from me. Thank you all for coming.
Senior stamp. You take your tassels from the right to the left. I would like to present to you the graduates of the class of 2022. Grab a hat on your way out if you want it, or you can come get it. You can do either. All of them out? Yep, they're going to go at that one. Broke the rules. You can go back for it. Again, I want to thank you all for attending. The graduates will be in the courtyard to the back of the meeting room. Please go out there and join.